Or I need to give him some different one?
This link should work.
Okay. All right, let me do that for Wendy as well. Oh, Wendy was confused because I think the panel says 12:40 and the Google Calendar says 1 p.m. So
Yeah.
she was Bing, are you pinning Vincent?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I pinned Eugene and Wendy.
Alrighty, let me click go live. Let's go. Are we gonna record? Already.
Yes.
Okay.
Click
Go live now. Perfect.
Let's
In 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Okay. Click go live now. Perfect. In 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Haimo, I think there's an echo on your side. You need a. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining our today's Hack for Change Hackathon kickoff. My name is Chen Zhen. I'm your today's host. I'm currently a product director at Netflix, also one of the founding organizers of Tech for AAPI Alliance. And then today we're here to continue bringing the tech community together to condemn hate, raise awareness, as well as affirm our commitment to drive necessary social changes to protecting, supporting, and uplifting the AAPI community. And so first of all, let me quickly introduce who we are. As I mentioned, the Tech for AAPI Alliance. We are actually a group of communities formed in early 2021 and to respond to the increased hatred and crimes against the AAPI community. And as early as of April, we actually organized a tech rally online, as you can see here, with a lot of tech leaders from various big companies, entrepreneurship communities, investor communities to come together and talk about what is going on, the history that led to it, and what we can do as a community together. And one of the ideas during that rally was to have a hackathon. So hence, after the rally, we worked hard for a month to bring this hackathon event to the community and to everyone. We're hoping we can use the resources and the great minds in the tech community to come up with creative solutions to address these issues that we're facing as a community. And also, I think that this is beyond just AAPI community in general, the discrimination and injustice towards minority groups. So we want to actually come together, figure out some practical solutions, hopefully, to start the change. And then you're all part of this movement. So thank you very much to join our event and supporting this initiative. And then for this hackathon, we also gathered a very stellar panel of judges for lots of famous companies and invest firms, startup communities, as well as actually disciplines like medical industry as well. So we're really excited to have these judges' support for our final demo day, which is June 6th, to help us evaluate all the various great projects that you will all come up with. And meanwhile, we also invited roughly 30 mentors from the hack community so that if you need some support from smart minds, they will be there to answer questions and help you advance your project and initiatives. And then overall, I just want to say, like, today is just one of the events for the hackathon. Last 2 weeks, we've been helping folks sign up, warming up, and forming teams. And hopefully some of you already have a clear idea what you want to work on and have a team. If not, it's not a problem as well. Today's kickoff, we will have time for folks to pitch ideas and recruit a team. And if you come with your passion and skills, but don't have an idea, that's fine too. You can listen to our panel discussion, listen to our fireside chat, and then probably get some inspiration about what you can work on. So hopefully all of that earlier content will help you think about what kind of projects, ideas that you can come up with. And then after today's event, we will have a 2-week working period for the hackathon, the main event. And then it's up to each of you and team to decide how much of those 2 weeks that you want to commit to the hackathon. You can gather as a few days, or as long as 2 weeks to work together. And as I said earlier, June 6th is the big event that we will have the demo and judge panel. And lastly, today we actually have roughly 3 sessions. So after this intro, we will have a panel discussion with Eugene, and Wendy and Navin, and Bing will host the conversation to mostly talk about, the issues we're facing and some of the thoughts, ideas they have for the community, and so on. And I will encourage everyone, if you have questions for our great speakers, please just, comment in the comment history. And when I'm sure Bing and the judges will see them, and then you may get picked, and then you can raise your questions later on. And then meanwhile, afterwards, we will have a fireside chat with Vincent Penn. He is the founding partner of Stop AAPI Hate. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about them. They are basically moving very early on in this movement to gather insights and stats about what is going on, so that all of us, the remaining community, know what we need to respond to. So he will come and actually tell us a little bit about what is behind this campaign, why they did it, what they did, and hopefully share some of their insights and perspectives, what the challenges for this community. And I hope both the panel discussion and the fireside chat will, open us up for various ideas and thoughts, and hopefully kick off even more events other than just hackathon as well. And then last but not least, we will have a whole kickoff discussions from the organization committee of Tech for AAPI Alliance, so that you can learn, for example, the resource you can get during the hackathon, what kind of help you can get during the hackathon, the detailed schedule, the time for submit the projects, judging criteria. We will also have a lengthy introduction of mentors in what kind of discipline, sign up. There are a lot of logistics. So please stay on this session, because you don't want to miss those important information. And then in the second part of that panel, we will have a round of lightning pitches. I think we roughly have maybe 13 or 15 teams decide to pitch live today. So each team will have 2 minutes, talk about their ideas, and then who they want to recruit for their team. And we'll probably leave some, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, depends on how fast we can go through all the agenda, for anyone who even didn't submit your idea, but able to grab the mic and just pitch live. So hopefully you will pay attention to our earlier content, so that you'll come up with a great idea and grab the mic and tell the community what you want to do and who you want to rally for. And then once we finish all these 3 sessions, we actually leave some time for everyone to go to gather.com, which is also one of our sponsors. And then you can go there and meet each other. You can go to the table to meet the project that already formed. You can also go to an empty table, be the project leader, and meet folks who will join you to work on projects together. So it will be a lot of fun. That's roughly the whole afternoon's event and agenda. With that, I'll move it to Bing to help us start the first panel.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Chen. Hi, everyone. My name is Ben. My day job is to lead engineering teams at Pinterest. But I also, together with Chen a few months ago, like Chen said, co-founded our Tech for AAPI Alliance. And I am really excited for all of you to be here. Really has been inspired by a lot of you, and been a great honor to be working with a lot of you across all the tech communities in the past couple of months, really. And today we're joined again with many senior leaders in the industry to discuss, what the tech community can do together against hate and discrimination. Maybe not just against the AAPI community, but just the minorities in general. Eugene Zhang, founding partner of the Tsvc, he has been, part of our event since the beginning, and he's sponsoring our event today, actually, but he's running late for a few minutes. So let me introduce the other two panelists first. First of all, here we have Naveen. Naveen is actually my long-term mentor and friend. We actually worked together at Pinterest for the past 7 or so years. And he's the SVP and head of products at Pinterest, a leader that I look up to my whole career, really. And Naveen, do you want to give a quick hi to everyone?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me today, Ben. I'm great. It's just feels so honored to be here and be on this panel. So excited to chat about a lot today, and hopefully give some inspiration for the hackathon to come.
Thanks so much, Naveen. Next up, we have Wendy. It was such a great honor to have Wendy on this panel today. When Wendy started, or I don't know what's the right word, co-organized or whatever that is, the Stand with Asian Americans campaign. I'm sure a lot of you saw the whole page campaign on Wall Street Journal with Enough in the center of that, and that was a huge encouragement and a huge inspiration for a lot of us Asians, in the same situation. At the same time, Wendy is also the SVP of Growth at Section 4. So glad to have you, Wendy. Do you want to say hi to the audience as well?
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. This is such a inspiring event. A whole group of individuals kind of spending a Sunday afternoon doing something great for the AAPI community, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Cool. Actually, Wendy, we'll start with you. We would really love to hear, you obviously worked along with many senior leaders in the tech industry to start this Stand with Asian Americans campaign. And we see a lot of, really strong Asian American entrepreneurs kind of co-signed that campaign. Tell us more about it. Like, how did you guys get started? How did you get so much support? And what's your vision for the campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to give you guys the unvarnished version of how it started, because I think it's important to kind of peel back the onion and give you guys a sense of how these things get started. And they get started basically based on individual acts, right? It's not something that was meticulously organized. It was a group of individuals who said, we have to do something. This is unacceptable, what's happening to the community. So it happened I would say the Friday after the Atlanta shootings. I got a text message from Justin Zhu, who is the co-founder of Iterable, and a friend of mine who we met last year when I was working on an anti-voter suppression project, because that's what founders like to do. They like to found lots of things. So even if we have day jobs founding, in the evenings are always founding something else, because it's the buzz of starting something new. So Justin helped me with my anti-voter suppression project back in the 2020 election cycle. And he texted me and he's like, hey, how are you feeling? Because, I'm not feeling great. And I told him, I had a few sleepless nights after Atlanta. And it was the very first time that I, although I consider myself an Asian American business leader, had never really said anything to my own company about what it means to be Asian American in the business context. And after Atlanta, that was the first time I did that. I sent out like a company Slack, and I talked about how I don't want the stories of these women forgotten. They're being misportrayed in the media. Their names are foreign, and so many people might not be able to relate to them. But at the end of the day, they're grandmothers, they're mothers that were working very hard jobs, and they were killed. And for the media to portray it as not an act of racism, I think was very painful for many of us. And it made us confront, like, what are we individually doing to speak out about the stereotypes or the narrative that's imposed on us. So Justin texted me. I was walking down in the Panhandle, and he shared with me the Google Doc that Dave Liu, who has been a mentor, I think, to many co-founders in technology. I think he runs, for the past 10 years, he's run an informal mentorship group for Asian American founders. And he had written kind of 1,200 words. Justin had refined it, and it was full of raw emotion. There were things in there that I disagreed with, like extra policing. And so that was a moment that I felt like I can get involved. And, I'm a marketer. That's what I do. In my day job, I launch campaigns with tens of millions of dollars. And I said, well, what can we do with no money? And no, not a lot of people helping out. And so we naturally just split up responsibilities. Like, I revised the letter, got it edited, figured out how to get it placed in the Wall Street Journal. Dave did the hard part of using his immense network that he's built up over the past 10 years, being a real pillar of the community, getting people to sign on. And Justin did everything else because he's a founder. So you fill in the gaps where there's, he figured out the partnership with the Asia Pacific Fund. He came up with the name Stand with Asian Americans. And to say that it was just the three of us is unfair. There was a host of volunteers who translated the website, who built the website, who figured out the Airtable integration so names would get updated, a whole host of other things that were a part of it. And I think the last thing I'll say about the campaign is that we really hope that it's not a campaign. That's what we believe, that it should move on from being a campaign to an organization, a coalition of Asian American business leaders and, frankly, non-business leaders, artists, entrepreneurs, eventually lead to collective momentum, which is what creates kind of a new order for equity. So I'll pause there.
Thank you so much. Such an inspiring story. And Wendy, we've been talking about this already, I know, but just want also everyone here to know, we here at the Tech for AAPI Alliance, we also are so down to collaborate, to work with you guys, work for you guys, for anything that we can do together, really. And I think that, one thing in our meeting earlier that you said that I was resonating so much with is that we really need to pull all our energies together and make something and make push for the change that just needs to be happen. Thank you. Cool. Naveen, I know you've been a senior leader, obviously, in the tech community for a very long time. I know, not only at Pinterest, but outside, you also, mentor and advise a few companies. What role, and, obviously Pinterest by itself is a social media or a media platform. There are many media platforms out there, many bigger than Pinterest, and media platforms touch every single person now, like on earth almost. What do you think those large media companies or media platforms play in what kind of role do they play in the society as a whole right now? And what do you think we need to do more of?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Ben. It's a really big question. It's a great question. It's one that's, I think, been at the center of attention for the past couple of years. And so, how I think about it is if you bear with me for a second and you go back in history, and you just think about the purpose and utility and how people got information in the past, it was very different than how people receive and connect with information today. So if you take a minute and you think back in history, and this is actually very evident if you travel and you go to more third world countries, you start to see, the purpose and utility of things like town squares and things like markets, where families and communities would gather, and this would be not only the place where they would get their food and supplies, but it would also be the center of information. So communities would gather, share ideas, debate, discuss, and whether it was like informational things that were happening, but also like the gossip of the town, and everything was kind of centered around these town squares. And so if you fast forward today, and you think about, social media platforms or media platforms in general, it's really changed this ability for how society can interact. And so today, folks can have access to information instantly, right? They can also express an opinion and build a global audience and global reach faster than they've ever been able to before. And so there's really this ability for information to spread across platforms and audiences way, way different than even when we were growing up, right? So with that being said, I think that this new ability for information and discussion to kind of take place at the ease of use now has created new problems, right? And so many of these platforms and pathways today are not, organized by people. They're not organized by government. They're actually run by private companies. And so it's a very big difference from that, where we've come from in terms of those town squares and centers. And so, for me, my personal belief is that I have a personal belief that any platform that is cultivating an online community has to really take an active role in shaping what it stands for and how they want that community to play in society. And so, I can't speak for all of the media platforms out there. There's many, but, in the spirit of the hackathon and collaboration, I'm happy to share some examples from Pinterest about how we think about this. And so, for Pinterest, our mission, is to bring everyone the inspiration to create a life they love. And so when you think about inspiration and you think about being inspired, there's a prerequisite there to be in an environment that's free of judgment, that's free of hate, that's free of divisiveness, and ultimately stimulates creativity. It's that environment that enables you to be yourself and to be creative. And so we've taken a lot of deliberate steps to forge a community and experience that removes divisive content from the platform. So, just some examples, we've never allowed political advertising on the platform because we've seen it to be divisive. We've taken proactive steps to combat medical misinformation, anti-vaccination information. When it comes to content and diversity, we've moved forward with actually diversifying the type of content that you see when you search for a beauty query. You don't have to prefix it with Asian haircut or Asian beauty ideas. You actually start to see by default, not just white women, but black women, but Asian women. And so you can start to see diversity as a natural part of how people use the service. And then finally, recently we launched something called the Creator Code, which forces all members of our community, creators, to actually explicitly agree to upholding a positive and nurturing community environment on Pinterest. And that's a really big step, and it's a really big difference from a lot of other platforms. And so, I think at the end of the day, if anyone is kind of building a platform or a community-based product, I think as we continue to evolve the internet and these products, we have to be really deliberate about how we think about and engineer the constructs around them that actually incentivize and lead to good outcomes. And so that's a little bit about how I think about it, but it's a really big and bold question that I think all of us need to think about in our day-to-day.
Absolutely. Thank you for the answer. And I also, honestly, I feel proud that, we as a platform do a lot of things. And I know a lot of people in different companies like Facebook, Google, YouTube. I've seen a lot of Asians and non-Asians, taking steps in their own companies, doing these projects on their own. And that's just, really inspiring too. And I definitely encourage everyone in the audience who I know a lot of our audience actually work at really big tech companies. I think, these are the small things that we can all do together in our day-to-day job. Thank you, Naveen. And lastly, we'll have Eugene. Thank you, Eugene, for joining us today. Like I said, Eugene is the founding partner of TSVC, but more importantly, for us at least, Eugene has been a huge supporter for all of our events. Starting from our online rally last time, where Eugene and many others, shared very powerful stories of their own, and to this hackathon event where Eugene is our biggest sponsor and TSVC is our biggest sponsor. And thank you so much for supporting us. So Eugene, I just wanted to ask you, as a immigrant, and you've been in the United States for a very long time, and you definitely kind of have seen a shifting culture and your own life. What have you observed? What do you really hope to see change? And those two words really was the reason why we're all here, and we're all working together on this cause.
Already showing that you're really passionate to do something for this community. And we share the same passion, absolutely. And we really appreciate that from you guys. So let's kind of dive in. So far, I believe you have learned why this event. And we just want to use the next couple of hours to kind of try to double click into the execution level details so you guys can be kind of fully prepared and also be aware of all the information, all the necessary resources throughout this event. And we actually don't expect for you to memorize all this information. Just remember, you can get a chance to see the key folks running the operation team, and you can raise any questions. You know who to talk to if you have any further questions down the road. And also you will have. So first of all, I just want to use a few minutes to explain a couple of details from a program perspective. Think of the schedule, think of the expectations, the workload. Just wanted to give you a little more visibility into the overall structure of this event. And I'm also going to invite my colleagues to share further details along many different aspects. So a little bit more about myself. So my name is Hai Mo, and I am a product manager from Alibaba Cloud with a focus on just cloud computing in general on the global market. And I'm also a board member of this community called Product Hub. It is, for product professionals. It is one of the supporting communities who help put together this event. And let me advance the slide. Alrighty. So here's a quick schedule for the rest of this event. I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen this table in many different channels, on your welcome email, on the website. So I don't want to go line by line, but let's use a couple of minutes to dive in to explain some questions that really kind of come up very frequently. So the first question is about the registration process. Now, in theory, the registration goes from the 1st of May until right now today, but it doesn't necessarily have to end by the end of the day. So if you see a landing pitch, if you see an idea that you really like, you really have passion in it, and you want to maybe invite your friends, invite your colleagues to jump on your team to help you out, they don't have to worry about the registration deadline. So everyone is welcome to join until the submission. The only downside is for those people who join late, they might have missed some critical events or some information, for example, this kickoff event we're having right now. But in the meantime, the operation team will try to have all the necessary information kind of prepared and packaged in a bundle. So when that person joins, we can just give that bundle to him or her to bring that person up to speed. So definitely kind of feel free to share the event and invite the folks to join as you go. And we do open the registration until the last minute. So that's that. And also, during this kickoff event, like I mentioned earlier, we are going to have a lightning pitch session. It's going to be a 60-minute session, and we're going to invite all the initiators, all the kind of team leaders type of role to present their ideas in the format of a lightning pitch. Now, after the pitch, all these people, the idea generators, they will be kind of assigned to one of the virtual rooms on our virtual space. So you can find them there. You can kind of talk to them, have a face-to-face conversation. And if there's a good synergy, you can decide to join that team and you can work together for the next couple of weeks. So that's that. And after the kickoff event, we're going to enter phase number 3. and you have roughly 2 weeks of time to make something. And that something could be like a prototype for a mobile app. It could be something like a website. It could be a social campaign. It literally could be anything, right, that helps the community. And one of the questions that we get asked very often is, well, 2 weeks sounds like a lot of time. It sounds like a lot of commitment. But really, that's because a lot of us, we have a full-time job, and we can only allocate time to work on this hackathon over the weekend, right? Work on the project over the weekend. So from this, just from the event organization perspective, we just wanted to make sure that we give you guys enough time and you don't feel rushed in the end. So you can have a smooth experience, a good experience, and you don't feel the pressure of time, right? So with that being said, you don't need to commit 2 weeks of time, right? Just take your time and work on the project, whenever you feel comfortable. And then from a workload and expectation perspective, really, all you need to do, right? All you need to submit at the end of this event is a demo video for the final evaluation. So in terms of the evaluation on June 6th, all the winning teams will have a chance to present their ideas and show the demo video in front of our judges. And then on the June 5th, the day before the final evaluation, all the teams, everybody will have this opportunity to demonstrate your solution, demonstrate your project to everybody else in a sort of a free-form format. So each team will be assigned a dedicated virtual room on Gather.talk. You can just go in there and you can demo your solution, demo your project, however you like. So just think of it as a sort of a poster session on one of those conferences, one of those summits. You have audience, you have people coming in and out from time to time. And then you as a host, you can decide, what would you like to demonstrate, how you want to interact with your audience. So what matters is, by the end of the day on June 5th, we're just going to try to rank all the teams, all the projects. The evaluation is going to be based on sort of a weighted average between the audience votes and then the expert evaluation. So by the end of the day, we're going to come up with a list of winners to enter the final evaluation on June 6th. So how many winning teams to enter the final? It really depends on like how many teams we end up having. And we only know that after running through the lightning pitch. So it could be top 12, it could be top 15. It depends, right? How many teams we end up having, and we can share like the final answer, I guess in a day or two. But just know the number falls between like maybe 12 to 16. And then each of those winning teams, they will have around 10 minutes to show their video plus a couple of slides optionally to explain those ideas to the judges. So that's it from a kind of a schedule perspective. Later on, we're going to invite my colleague Xander to share a little more details about the judging criteria, the submission details, and all that. But before that, I also want to emphasize on the prize. That's exciting stuff. So think of the prize as a kind of a combination of cash and also a cash equivalent rewards that are sponsored by our partners, right? By the supporting communities. Cash, obviously, it's very straightforward. And then regarding the cash equivalent rewards, think of like a pro edition of some software that is very popular, easy to use tooling, stuff like that. And also free tickets to our summits, to events, to some workshops that are organized by our partners, right? And rest assured, none of those are for marketing purposes. And those are for like real events and workshops where you can learn something for your benefits, to advance your career, to learn some skill sets, stuff like that. Now, in terms of the cash value, first in place, $4,000. Second in place, $2,500. Third in place, $1,500. And then top 8, meaning from like number 4 to number 8, each of those will get $500. And on top of all that, we also have a reward for the best UI UX, right? Depending on the project. And that one is very specifically sponsored by our design community, UX Offer and UX Pi for the best, well-designed project. And then we also have this thing called a most popular hack, which is purely decided by the audience votes on June 5th. So we are going to take away the expert opinions because, who needs an expert? As long as your hack gets the most votes from the audience, you can just take back this $1,500. So that's for the most popular hack. And then we also have this thing called Best Justice Crime Tracker, which was announced previously by Wendy, and this one is specifically sponsored by Stan with AsianAmericans.com. So like Wendy has explained in the previous session, they wanted to really kind of encourage the community to develop something, to build products, to really help track legit hate crime cases from reliable sources. For example, a report from a police officer, some kind of case published by the government or from the public sources, anything, right? Now with data, we can really tell a very strong story, and then we can help bring the visibility to a broader audience, right? To people who don't believe there's a thing called Asian hate crime, that kind of stuff. So that's it from the prize perspective. I'm going to invite my colleague, Xander, to jump on and talk about the judging criteria and also the final submission logistics. So really quick, Xander, he is a leader from this community called Wuhan 2020. And they organized a hackathon last year with a focus on helping out the pandemic situation. And he's also a director from one of the leading kind of telecom company. So Xander, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Haimo, for the great introduction. And also, as you know, I'm very honored to be here. Actually, Haimo and many of the organizers were the mentors that supported Hack for Wuhan hackathon last year. We worked together to fight against COVID-19. So I'm very honored here to give you some thoughts and introduction of our judging criteria. So as you know, we are doing the innovation for social good, right? So we hope the projects that you make can be desirable, viable, and feasible. The desirable means the customer wants, right? The users want, and the viable means you have the business or social value, and also the feasible means technically is feasible. So actually, we have 5 different criteria that want to see from your project. First of all, is we want to know your scope, right? Your idea, your scope, and how you execute it. The second of all is we really, really want to see that you are making something that relevant to our theme. And then it will be customer focused, right? That's something you're making something that address the problem and the users really want. The fourth one is the value, right? The fifth one is technically feasible, right? So these 5 criteria are important, and our judge panel and also the organizing team, we will evaluate your project based on this. We will rank, right, on, and then finally we will let you know the result. So Haimo, please jump to the next page. Yeah, in terms of the submission, right, I write a lot of things here, but you just remember this very, very easy way for you to submit. We will provide you a submission form via multiple channels. The first of all, we will post it in Slack. You will get that. I will make sure you will get that before the deadline. The second of all, we have a GitHub page where you can find how to submit. An easier way for you to find out this page is to go to our official website. You will see this link from our FAQ part. Also, you can, if you are familiar with GitHub, you can search for Tech for AAPI, Hack for Change. Then you will find this page. As Haimo said, there will be a mandatory 2 to 5 minute video for your submission. And also, we would recommend you to put your slides deck in, right, as an optional, but we highly recommend that. One important thing is to rename your project, your file, your submission, right, with your team's name and your project name. For example, you are Team Oasis. You are making a project named Unity, right? You just change the name accordingly. right? So if you want to submit your code project, we'll welcome that, and you will find more details from our GitHub page. Yeah, so after all, we will make sure you get the submission form via multiple channels. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us in Slack. There will be someone to help you, I'm sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Xander. So like Xander explained, really, we're just looking for a little structured presentation on the final day on June 6th, where you show like a demo video plus a little presentation. But the day before, on June 5th, it's really kind of free format kind of demonstration. You can show whatever you like. You can even like dance if you can get people to vote on that. So, you know, be creative for that. So next, I'm going to invite also my colleague Bingfeng to jump on the stage to talk about the mentors, the office hours, and sign up details. So Bingfeng, he's a engineer manager from LinkedIn, and he's also president of the Tsinghua Alumni Association of Northern California. So Bingfeng, you're up.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Haimo. And today I will bring you some updates about our Hackathon mentor resource and office hour sign up. So actually, we have invited a group of mentors from the tech industry to help our hackathon teams, to build and polish the best hackathon projects. So they are senior engineers, product managers, designers, and entrepreneurs with many years of work experience and domain expertise. So we believe their industry experience and business insight will be very valuable to help you follow the best path and achieve promising results in our hackathon activity. So as a hacker team, you can ask for feedbacks from mentors on the project ideas for things like feasibility, design, and usability. And our mentors can help you to polish your rough ideas until they turn into diamonds. And these mentors can also help you with the new technologies and tech stacks, like beta testing your product and suggesting the enhancements. And also they can provide feedbacks on the design and direction as your project progresses. Next slide, please. Okay, cool. So with all the benefits, how to get support? So please sign up for mentor office hours. For any participant, you can shop for the mentor that you or your team want to talk to. And our mentors have already provided their bio and a calendar link of open office hours. You can sign up for the office hour slot as a team or as a person by the listed sign up link. And we will share the link after the meeting. If you have any questions that you want to ask the mentors directly, feel free to join and make a comment in the Hackathon-Mentors Slack channel, where you can find all of our mentors. Okay, please. Finally, please allow me to thank our mentors again for their willingness to contribute and commitment to our hackathon. I will hand it over back to Haimo.
Alrighty, thank you, Bingfeng. So next, I'm gonna invite my colleague Lydia to jump on the stage to kind of to give us introduction of the different resources, what kind of support you can get from the operation team. Lydia is a senior engineer from Netflix, and she's also a director at Product Hub, which is the same community where I come from. Welcome, Lydia.
Thank you, Haimo. This is Lydia here, and I'm leading the volunteer program for this hackathon. So there are some support resources I'd like to share all of you. The first one is team matching. Team matching and idea sharing is obviously very important. So if you already have idea, you can sign up your ideas at this URL here, tinyurl.com/hackathon team registration. And later, after the session, at I think maybe 15 minutes later, we are going to host a lightning pitch to allow all of these who have ideas to pitch your idea and recruit for team members. If you want to talk, now is the last call to add your idea into this slide. tinyurl.com/lightning pitch registration. And also, if you want to share your idea, feel free to use the Slack channel, Hackathon Town Hall, if you want to recruit for team members. And if you're just looking for a team, also your encouraged to make self-introduction in the Hackathon Town Hall, and the teams will also be looking there. Next slide, please. We are also giving out some goodies for this hackathon. There are many designers here, and we are sharing this tool, ProtoPie, which is a powerful interactive prototyping tool that we love. It's not only good for designers, but also good for engineers and product managers who love to demo their idea or prototype in a creative way. Thanks UX Run and UX Offer for the sponsorship. We actually got 250 sponsor license for our fellow participants. Each of these is worth of $500, and it is first come, first served. So if you want it, just fill a Google form at tinyurl.com/protopie license, and we will share with you the license shortly. If you have any questions or encounter any difficulties, feel free to ask in the ProtoPie license channel. Next slide. We also have an online hackathon space for this hackathon at Gather.tom. Thanks for Gather.tom sponsorship. We're gonna use this Gather.tom space at tinyurl.com/hackathon space for meeting and social events. And we will go to this place shortly at 3:30 for the social time. I think that's it for all supports. And if you have any questions, feel free to just ask in the channel, and I will hand it back to Haimo.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Lydia. Just, whenever you have any questions, you can ping me or Lydia or Bingfeng or Xander and Yudi like anytime. We're all available on Slack. So last but not least, I'm going to invite Yudi to come on the stage to show our appreciation to the partners and also sponsors. Really, like without their support, without their help, this event may, never happen or be really delayed by a lot. So really, let me welcome Yudi to give us a introduction to the partners and sponsors.
Thank you, Haimo and the team. Hi, everyone. I'm Yudi. Glad to be a co-organizer of Tech for AAPI Alliance. A little bit about myself. I work as an investor relations director at a fintech startup called Arc7. I also volunteer as the president of Shanghai Jiao Tong University Alumni Association in Silicon Valley. As you can see, it is a dream team to work with. And it is my honor to acknowledge our wonderful group of sponsors and a wide spread of community partners. With the help of their generous donation and active promotion, our participants will be granted abundant incentives in order to form teams and push their ideas further. We're pleased that you all could join this hackathon so you could see what your contribution has helped us accomplish. So next slide. First of all, let me introduce our incredible platinum sponsor, Tsvc. Tsvc is a leading early-stage venture capital fund in Silicon Valley since 2010. Portfolio includes Zoom, Ginkgo Bioworks, went IPO, and Quanergy, Kata, and other top unicorns. Thanks, Tsvc and Eugene, our judge. Next is the list of our gold sponsors. UX Offer is a pioneer in user experience and human-computer interaction education since 2014. It provides dynamic training in UX design foundation and career development with elite instructors from Silicon Valley top employers, close partnership with global UX design communities. Next is UXPI. It is founded in 2016 on the mission to create an open community for all UXers. With dedicated apprenticeship programs, online courses, and training sessions, they have helped aspired young people break into their UX career. Next, we have Stand with Asian Americans. It is a new movement that involves a group of executives at technology companies across the U.S. committing $10 million by the end of 2021 to fight anti-Asian American sentiment. It is initiated by David Liu, founder and managing partner at Hyphen Capital. Yes, Gather.town. You will see that later. It combines video calling with a 2D map, letting users walk around and talk to nearby people with the options to create customized interactive spaces. and we're on around the world right now. It is the one-stop shop to host virtual events that connect, inspire, entertain, and bring your community together. Last but not least, Chefs. It operates cloud kitchens to deliver freshly made gourmet meals to customers at an incredible price, as well as building a chef-to-customer ecosystem for delivery sustainability. Each participant will be rewarded a $10 off coupon so they can focus on coding and hacking. Okay, next slide. And our community partners have also aggressively promoted our hackathon in their established communities, including but not limited to ABC Blockchain Community, Agora. I saw Virginia Liu here today. She's also our judge from Agora. Then Beijing University of Post and Telecom Alumni Association of America, Dora Hacks, Energy Innovation Network, Huayuan Science and Technology Association, Chinese Microsoft Employees Network, Seattle Chinese Association, the Pacific Club, the Silicon Valley Leadership Community, Bay Area Culture Salon, University of Science and Technology of China Initiative Foundation, Women in Tech. Thank you all for your incredible support. Okay, and I'll hand over back to Haimo and Lydia.
Alrighty. Thank you, Yudi, and thanks for all the sponsors and partners. Really excited to have you guys here. So that covers all the logistics stuff. Now it is time for the most exciting part of the kickoff, the lightning pitch. Without further ado, let me invite Lydia to run that session. Lydia, you're up.
Well, thank you, Haimo, and I'm super excited that now we're at this exciting time for teams to pitch their idea. Haimo, would you let me share the slide?
Of course. Let me stop. Already.
Well, how does it work? A lightning pitch is actually a great way to get visibility into your project. You can use it as a platform to recruit team members, and you can also use a forum to discuss your thoughts and gather feedback. Each person will have 2 minutes to present their idea. We will remind you when there's 30 seconds left, and we will cut off your speech if you're over time. Right after this lightning pitch session, we will have a social session. Here you'll see each team is marked as a table, and we're expecting, if you're interested in this idea, come talk to the idea pitcher at their corresponding table. So on the top left of each slide, you will see a gather.com table number associated with the idea. At 3:30 p.m., our social time will get started, and we're inviting all of the presenters to go to the corresponding table in gather.com for continued discussion and recruiting. For the rest of participants, if you're interested in a project or simply want to just give feedback or talk, go to their corresponding table at gather.com. And now, how does this work? I'm actually asking all of the presenters to grab the mic 3 people before your turn to join our stage. Now we're inviting Evelyn, Jason, and Greg to join and grab the mic. Let me give you the mic. And for the rest of speakers, also feel free to join the stage early so that I can share with you the mic earlier so that you can, and I will also call your name when it's your turn to speak. Please keep yourself muted until then. Okay, is Evelyn here? Now it's your turn to speak.
I saw Evelyn.
Hey, is Evelyn on the... Evelyn, our volunteer will contact you and ask you to grab the mic later. And for now, we will go to the next presenter. Oh, I saw Evelyn. And for the rest of the presenter, feel free to grab the mic now so that and stay on the stage. Is Evelyn here? Let's see who. I got a bunch of mic requests.
I just gave Evelyn the mic. Evelyn, you should be able to speak.
Yeah.
I think she got the mic a couple times, but I'm not sure why it's not turning on. Maybe it's got speaker issues. Oh, she dropped again. Maybe we can go to the next person.
Yeah, I believe Greg is on stage, right? Greg, are you ready to speak?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I actually have problems also with the mic because if you don't press it fast enough, you lose it. So let me begin. So first of all, thank you to our organizers and thank you for this opportunity. Just a quick background on myself. So I'm a tech entrepreneur, but I'm also an elected official. So I serve on the Palo Alto City Council. I was first elected in 2017 and got reelected in last November. So I've attended a lot of Stop Asian Hate rallies. In fact, I was just at my 17th one yesterday in San Francisco, and they're very inspiring. But really, to get lasting change, we need to take the next step. And one of the next steps is really voting. So Asian Americans are a pretty big part of the population here in California, especially here in Silicon Valley. But in terms of actually voting, we're highly underrepresented. So nationwide, Asians only make up about 49% of only 49% of Asians actually go and vote, which is one of the lowest of any ethnicity. And elected officials, let's say in Congress, is only 3%. So we're highly underrepresented. So we're about 6% of the population of the U.S., but only 3% of Congress. So if we really want to kind of make change happen, we have to close the voter registration gap and actually elect people that represent our interests. So what we did as part of our rally in Palo Alto on May 2nd was do what we call an 8x8 challenge. And this is essentially to get 8 people registered to vote in 8 days. So basically 1 a day. And the rally was very successful. So you guys could look at the 8x8.us website and see some of the pictures from the rally. We distributed over 1,000 yellow whistles. We packed University Avenue, with marchers. We had 11 sponsors. So it was very, very successful. But the problem was to do this 8x8 challenge, which we're trying to make it like the ice bucket challenge. It was kind of manual. It's a bit of a manual process. And so what we're looking to do is insert some tech into this so that it could scale and it could actually become more successful. So we have a wireframe design right now that's very, very early and that we're trying to iterate on and make better. But the idea about it is trying to automate what we have proven that worked in the physical world, but make it so that it could work through the social media. And this is being sponsored by, so what did you say?
10 seconds left.
10 seconds, okay. So yeah, we're looking for anyone with web or social media development to help us and, be part of the team. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you, Brad. Thank you for a great presentation. Next, we'll have Evelyn. I believe she's on the stage now.
Hey, everyone, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. Sorry about that. Yeah, thanks, everyone. I really appreciate the opportunity. Actually, I know Greg personally. We are part of the same organization called AAPI. That's Asia Pacific Islander Leadership Institute. And I really had the honor to meet with him during one of the alumni sessions. So appreciate that. And the reason that I brought that up was one of the ideas here. Here I have four of them. One of them was given to me by the president at the AAPI organization, so I can later share. So the first 2 ideas came from 2 ladies. They're in their mid-age and they're daughters of their first-generation Asian immigrant parents. And the number 1 idea was around safety escort. The specific user needs are, number 1, they want to be able to book a safety escort when they plan trips. So it's just like an Uber kind of service that they envision. And then the second need is really for the family members to book the trips on behalf of the elderlies or the women or the children, and also be able to keep track of the status and the location as the elderly goes from point A to point B. And a challenge that we have envisioned is it's basically a two-sided marketplace. So we want to make sure there's also enough volunteers who can sign up as the escorts. And one idea that we had earlier was around, can we provide restaurant coupons as sort of tokens of appreciation to the volunteers, and at the same time be able to promote those restaurants, have more Asians come to visit the Asian restaurants throughout this process. So there are still some details and design that we need to finalize. And currently there's me and another team member on this idea. And I can go to my next idea. So idea number 2 is also around servicing the elderly community. Again, it was generated by one of the daughters of a first generation immigrant parents. So the parents was not able to speak English well, just like my parents. So she was concerned around her mom being locked up in the room and not having enough conversations with the outside world and not being able to socialize and adapt to the environment. So we also had a little brainstorm. There are basically 2 user needs. Number 1 is around the social skills, so language as well as the social norm, being able to learn the traffic laws, and so on. So that's around social skill. How do we help the elderly improve their social skills? And then the second need is around social opportunity. How do we let the elderly meet new friends and have the opportunities to explore and really enjoy their life in this country? And the longer term vision for this idea is it can really not only be used as a service for Asian parents only, but I think it can be used for any parents of the first generation immigrant from any other country. Okay. So that's idea number 2, and idea number 3 came from the president of the AAPI, which is the Asian Pacific Institute or Leadership Institute. The idea here is he has this need. He is launching a project similar to tech for AAPI, and the question there is how do we identify and organize all the existing fragmented Asia Pacific communities and clubs, and how do we consolidate a master database basically and know who are the points of contacts, and how do we reach out to them and mobilize them in an organized fashion. So he currently has this need, and I think he basically needs a solution by the end of this month, and I wish some of our team members will be willing to help. So that's idea number 3, and idea number 4 is my own idea. So I am watching some of the TikTok and YouTube videos. It looks like Asian costumes are really becoming a popular idea around non-Asian groups. So like white, Caucasian people, as well as Latin American descent. They are interested in trying out Asian outfits such as hanfu and kimono, and these are currently just subculture, just like cosplay kind of thing, but it is kind of a good opportunity to share the Asian culture and promote Asian culture and let people get familiar with Asian culture. So how do we encourage them, encourage non-Asian groups to try out Asian fashion? And that's this idea. So my current number 1 idea already has 2 people on it, and number 2 idea has 3 people on it. Number 3 and number 4, we're still looking for team members. And if you want to join any of them, you're very welcome. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Evelyn, for your great ideas. There are a whole lot of them. And for audience, if you're interested in these ideas, feel free to talk to Evelyn in gather.com or reach to her via Slack. Yeah, I believe is Jason here today? Okay, so I'm gonna read his idea on representative Jason. So the 5th one is news action. The idea comes from the problem that anti-Asian hate is more complex than hate crime. It's actually a product of social political injustice. There is no simple solution to this. And what we can do is to gather all resources of information, lay out the facts and data for the people and help them make better decisions. Find a community who they resonate and together take action to make policy changes. News Action is a platform that is trying to facilitate that process and unite people to address various issues. The team is still looking for all sorts of roles: engineers, journalists, designer, community builders, political advocate. And if you're interested, feel free to reach out to Jason Liu at the Slack. Okay, we're moving to the next one. Number 7, presented by Rudy. Is Rudy here? Great.
Oh, I'm here. Okay, thanks, Lydia. Yes, so this is our idea at Gather.town Table 7. It's called the C, Chinese Community Center. So this idea came from the problem that it is challenging to find a modern space of belongingness to Chinese communities, especially for new immigrants and next generation in the United States, other than the traditional Chinatown. So we already formed a group of 7. So this is just a very raw solution. So let's learn from the success of Jewish community centers, the J, and the YMCA or YWCA, the Y, to build cultural hubs for Chinese communities in major U.S. cities. We are aiming to create a blueprint and the branding for this scalable project. The centers shall include preschool, after-school, studios, senior living, performing arts center, incubation center, restaurants, and a variety of programs, both online and offline. We can even host annual leadership forums. We can be a place of interest for people to come and take pictures. Yeah. So whenever you feel okay, I want to look for a place to show the authentic Chinese culture, the C is the place you go. And our mission is to promote Chinese culture and leadership as well as welcome different cultural groups. Since it is still a broad and raw idea, we're looking for anyone interested in helping, especially UI designers and engineers with social media, app, or website background. And this is pitched by Yudi and myself, Investor Relations Director at Ox7 and the President of Shanghai Jiaotong University, Silicon Valley. Jie Huang is from EY, and she's on the advisory team. Fa Wang is a Google software engineer. Mei Tongli is a Harvard PhD student. Colin Zhao is the owner of 5lovehd.com. Anna Hong is the owner of Sapphire View, and Paisley Hao is the owner of Polydoc. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you. See all you later at gather.town.
Yeah, thank you, Rudy, for your great idea. And if you're interested, you can talk to Rudy at gather.town table number 7. Next up is the idea number 8, One Thing Against Racist, presented by Li Ma.
Hi, everyone. I'm Li Ma. I'm an engineer manager from Google. So about this project, as we all know, the past year was really a year of fear and stress to all the AAPI community. It started with the pandemic that hit globally. And the situation got only worse starting this year, if you all remember the horrible incidents and the crimes. So people are scared, including myself, angry, feel helpless, and even hopeless. So many of us want to do something about it, but very often we don't know where to start. It seems like the available options are really limited, right? So besides of going to a protest and donate some money, what else we can do? So yeah, so many of us, the Asian community, are concerned that we don't have the time, we don't have the resource, we don't have the scale, and our strength is too weak to make any real differences. So targeting that problem and ironically, aligned really well with this hackathon. We're proposing this project. We're trying to build a platform that can encourage everybody to take small but very actionable, and more importantly, impactful steps to fight against racism. And another important step is to, once you are done with your work, share it. It's very important to share. Once you share, you're going to inspire more people to join, right? So to help people take small actions, find actionable small steps they can do, we even composed maybe a few dozen actions under different pillars. For example, we think raising awareness is the most important start. There are multiple actions down there. And reaching out to allies. Many people already talk. We want to talk to Black community, Jewish community, many other communities. We want to build an alliance with them, right? And then, as we do in this hackathon, we want to use our professional expertise to help. We all can do something to help, right? And encourage people to join community activities. So yeah, if you visit our website once it's done, you can see all those details and ideas over there. And not only we want to encourage people to do small things. We know many people have grand ideas, but it's too big. No one can accomplish those things by yourself, right? So we want to use this platform to allow people submit their ideas, just like this hackathon's doing, and call up volunteers to join force together to work on this project, to break this project into smaller pieces, so we can all accomplish that together. So by a chain of act, share, and inspire, we want to use this project to establish a positive feedback loop, so we can accumulate and add up a lot of effort together to make real differences. And we are looking for, we already have a team of 8, and we're still looking for front-end developers and graphic design to help us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lee. Next up, we're having number 9 hate crime map, also by Lee.
Yeah, all right, it's me again. So this actually came from my side. It came from one of the projects. I don't feel I can do myself. So I pushed up to find people within Google. And ironically, I found Chang also published this idea in this hackathon. So I joined force with her to work on this. So the problem was that it's trying to solve is that despite the rise of hate crimes against AAPI, there's no single data source to track all the events. So it's really make it really difficult for people to get sense of it, get sense about the scale and the severity of the issue. Right? People like me know things happen in New York, New Jersey, but it's hard to have a bigger picture, nationally. And not even for Asian community itself, many people don't know the scale and severity of the problem, not to mention people outside the community. So I don't know how many of you have seen the coronavirus website, 1.3 acres created at the very beginning of the pandemic. They collect all those corona cases in the centralized website, and the people can see the number of cases growing and they drill down into where they are, right? So that website was really inspiring, and inspiring both me and Chen to come up with this hate crime mapper website to do the similar things. The coronavirus website was not only used to help people understand the problem, the scale of the problem of pandemic, also help the government and the researchers to utilize the consolidated data to do their part of work. So we're hoping our website can do the same thing. We already have some ideas about scraping the data from news, from public database from, for example, NYPD's database to consolidate all it together. And we also have a team of about 6 to 7 people now, 7 to 8 people now. And again, we are still looking for front-end developers, graphic designers, and people that can help us to promote the product. So I want to add one more thing on both of these two projects, right? No, we are committed to the continuity of these two projects. We will continue even after this hackathon. So even though you won't have a chance to join our team today, please join us still, because we need help. We need as much help as we can, even after this hackathon. We want to move this two movement forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee, for those great two projects. Yeah, I'm very glad to say that these are continued projects, and would love to see this cause be turned into action. So if you're interested, definitely approach Lee at gather.town or over Slack. Thank you. Yep. So here we have idea number 10 by Matthew. Matthew, you're up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Matthew Huo, and I'm currently, I guess now, a rising junior at Northeastern University in Boston studying business and finance. I'm currently on a co-op as a portfolio management position at Hercules Capital in Palo Alto, and I also run a
Amazing. Thank you, Shuring and Jasmine. Up next, we're having idea number 13, Echo Chamber Meter, presented by Bing.
Great. Thanks, Lydia. Yeah, I think we actually, in the earlier session, not sure how many of you were there, we talked a little bit about how kind of the internet and the kind of social media platforms now actually has this weird side effect of, echo chamber, right? So I personally do believe that the world, as I've written here, the world is more and more divided, partially because we're all starting to form our own echo chambers and we stopped hearing opinions that we don't like, and the algorithms in all kinds of platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatnot, just makes it harder and harder for you to see the opinions that you don't like, because the system will just want to feed you more and more of the things that you like to watch or see. And as an engineer, before we start to solve a problem, we want to measure the problem first. So our idea is to just show you how much of an echo chamber that you might be in yourself. Essentially, we're going to try to build either a Chrome extension or a web app where you either log in and all of the data will be analyzed locally, so there's no data leakage problem. But you will log in, for instance, using your Twitter account, and then we will kind of issue or generate a report of things like your diversity of your content, the kind of echo chamber that you might be in, and also potentially other topics that you're missing because of the echo chamber that you're in. So we already have a team of 6-7 people. We're looking for maybe one more web engineer to help with the front end. And then if you have any data crawling experiences, please let us know, because we also want to analyze some news and media data. Feel free to reach me on Slack, or I will be at table 13 on our hackerspace on gather.town. So I'll see you guys there.
Awesome. Thank you, Bing, for a great idea. Up next, we're having idea number 14, presented by Danica Do. Danica, are you still here? Please unmute yourself. We will give Danica a few minutes to grab the mic and
I think Danica
talk
has
later.
the mic.
I saw Danica's already. Yeah, Danica already has the mic. Danica, can you unmute yourself and speak? You should already have the mic, Danica. Okay, we'll go to the next one. And no, we cannot hear you. Okay, I will give Danica a few. Oh, there you are. Oh, is that Fengbo?
Right, that's me. That's Fengbo.
Okay. Is Haling is Heling on the stage? You also have the mic already. Okay, there's Danica. Danica will go back to you then. Okay, Danica, you're up now.
Okay, so can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Danica Do, and I just graduated from Tsvc in New York City as a product design student this summer. And for my master's thesis, I'm investing 1 year in learning about anti-Asian hate, and I created a series of app design, product design campaigns to lifting up the Asian community. And the product I'm pitching today is one of my thesis projects about media representation for Asian Americans. So we all know that Asian Americans are still missed and underrepresented in the U.S. And whitewashing for Asian roles is still happening now. And Asian characters are always stereotyped as computer nerd, restaurant owner, and kung fu master. And most importantly, we are always the sidekick, not the main character. So there is an urge for Asian American teenagers to have Asian icons in different fields to look up to. So I want to give these teenagers the power to create their own version of superhero. I have done a little online research asking people from Asian community what is your favorite superpower. And the answer I get is so funny and creative. For example, one of the most upvoted answers in Reddit is from a person saying that he wants the power of invisibility. But then he added, oh wait, don't we Asians already have this power? And also there are people writing about food, like the ability to eat a mala hot pot and don't have the shit the next day. So the app will capture your own facial features and create your avatar with this. And then you can create your superpower secret identity to build your avatar and stories. And eventually you can share your avatar with stories on social media to empower yourself and the community. So we know this year we have Shang-Chi, the first Asian superhero, as a lead in the cinema, and more representation like Raya and the Bling Empire. So hopefully by this app we can enhance the Asian representation to make it more diverse and positive. So I would love to have someone who has the experience in the industry to push this project forward to make it come true. So I can be the UX designer, and I will need a developer, content writer, and illustrator for the avatar example building, and some UX designer to help me. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Danica, for the great idea. And up next, we're having Heling. Heling, are you on the stage? I saw you already having the mic, so you can unmute yourself and speak. I cannot hear you. Heling, maybe you could quit and rejoin this, and I think that's how Danica fixed it. We will give Heling some time, and now, is Heling here? Hello? Okay, now we're up to Fenbo then. Fenbo, it's your turn.
All right. Okay. Yep. Thank you, everyone. So our idea or the problem we're trying to solve is basically because, since the start of the pandemic, heartbreaking violence against the AAPI community skyrocketed. So, however, what is being reported in the mainstream media is only a tip of the iceberg. And many people remain unaware of the severity of the issue due to a lack of comprehensive and up-to-date reports on those hate crimes and incidences. And people in this community feel unsafe, but they don't know how to better protect themselves or help others with a good mechanism to learn about those violences and take action against them. So the idea we are trying to pitch is basically because we believe this issue is too important to be left to the Asian Americans alone, and we aspire to unite everyone to rebuild trust within their local communities. So we really like to build a platform for anyone to report hate crimes and incidences that they personally experienced or witnessed close in real time, and stay aware of when and what is happening in their neighborhood, and collectively identify attackers and hold them accountable, and also post activities to rally each other to join force. So we really want to make this a personal and local experience, and really bring the best out of everyone. And also, I think our solution can help connect to the scattered hate crime happening over time and over space to reflect the true scale of the severity of the problem. So we can use this to do something bigger in the future. As for a team, currently we have a few designers, and we're looking for a few maybe front-end engineers that has mobile development experiences or experience with Google Map API or information visualization to join us. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Fenbo, so much for the presentation. Up next, we're going back to Heling. Heling, glad that you fixed the problem now.
Yes, that's a quick, easy fix. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, my name is Heling, tech entrepreneur. I'm very passionate about breaking down a stereotype of our community. Right. Well, our proposal is Twivel, a short video Q&A platform that is less intrusive and more authentic. I believe each of our community members have their own unique stories, and we don't usually do that because we don't know who care about knowing them. Right? People from other communities sometimes want to get engaged, but they don't know where to get started. Certainly, there are some kind of existing social platforms like TikTok or Twitter or Facebook. However, right, most of them require users to optimize their content to gain engagement. Right, so the content doesn't really help to drive deep conversation. We hope Twivel can help to fix that, and then bring more authenticity on the table. It works like this, right? You check your user profiles, other users' profiles. If you have some questions, just ask. No sign up needed, right? Once your question is answered, you receive an email and watch the answer to a video. Simple as that, right? We already have a working demo or prototype, right? I asked two friends to try it. Right? One is Hongming, a stand-up comedian, and one is Dang, Andrew Yang's campaign manager. Right? They all like it. During this trial, we also find some issues I need to fix. So hope you can join me and then make it a better product. And if you are interested in like content marketing, social media promotions, let me know. Right? We really need your help. We also need some kind of React engineer, software development. If you are also interested in sign up and start answering questions, right? Join me in table 15, and then or contact me through emails or Slacks. Right? Thank you for your time.
Well, thanks, Heling. Sounds like there's already a lot of great progress done. That's awesome. And yeah, feel free to reach out to Heling if you're interested in joining.
Right. Thank you.
Up next, we're having Sarah and Joseph for We the Asian.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Sarah. So today I'll be presenting the project. Right now it's just in the concept stage. We don't have any prototypes yet, so we'll be looking for people to like develop design and the software development with us. So the idea, with the Asian, it's about the politics, to engage more Asians in the U.S. politics making. So right now, a lot of Asians have pretty low political participation and very limited knowledge about U.S. politics, and therefore pretty limited voice and representation in the local governments and also the DC. To push for any like regulations, legislation, policies, like local legislator campaigns and things like that, to be in favor of the Asian communities. And the Asians are especially lacked in protections at like right now at the time of this intense Asian hate time. And besides the like crimes, there are also other aspects to it, like racism in workplace and stuff, and that all like raised from this whole Asian hate trend. So we hope to address that problem by developing a website that is both educational and actionable for Asians to like learn more about the U.S. politics, like how it goes and how people can people can participate in the policymaking and actually make impacts in the process. And so the website will take on a more readable and fun format that contains like ongoing protocols, laws, regulations, policies that are related to the Asian community. So right now we're thinking about making the like the protocols and regulations more readable, and a fun format can be like a short video or like animation video to inform the people that are unfamiliar with all of the legislation process.
10 seconds left. 10 seconds left.
Okay. So we'll provide multiple ways to participate in the process, to advocate or object, and for people with different language levels and like status. So we'll be looking for front-end engineers, back-end engineers, UI UX designers, motion designer, video editors, and also like content writers, and especially people in the law and public policy industry. And feel free to contact me on Slack or email. And I'm a UX designer from Carnegie Mellon University, and Joseph is a software engineer developer from Northeastern University. We're both master students, and we look forward to having more people from our team.
Okay, thank you, Sarah, for
I think, Lydia, you're muted somehow.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sarah, for the great presentation. I actually don't see any more slides, but I see one more presenter, Queen. Queen, would you like to pitch your idea?
Lydia, we actually have people add a few slides live. If you can refresh your slides, you may see them. I think there's 2 more.
Oh, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, and then also there's a table 12. I'm not sure if Summer is here, but there was a slide.
Yep. That's great to see more idea. Home, please grab the mic, and now we'll have Queen. It will be Queen's turn. Let me present. Queen, feel free to unmute yourself and speak.
Oh, I thought you said someone gonna go first. Sure, I can go now. I'm number 19. Yeah. Thank you so much. So I think actually a lot of folks probably had a very similar idea. So just want to really echo that. I think the problem we're addressing here is that, it's truly hard to understand what's happening in the world, right? It requires so much background. It's a lot of nuanced perspective that is really hard to convey, just oversimplistic and monopolized news articles. So the solution, if you open up, essentially we're trying to democratize news, but to really open up to everyone. I mean, that can just easily become another Reddit, right? So the idea is that, we would love to have this news discussion platform that organizes comments into sort of a structured and digestible viewpoints through user input and especially natural language processing. And then we also want to introduce gamification elements to incentivize quality comments. So a little bit of background, I was a serial entrepreneur. I had a startup that got into Y Combinator. Previously, I was a game product manager and an NLP product manager. So yeah, I would love to work with folks who had a similar idea. I truly see this as one of the biggest problem. People, I think it's been pretty well elaborated. I care truly about this idea, about this problem. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Queen, for that great idea. We're going back to idea number 18, but looks like Hong is having some problem grabbing the mic. Oh, Hong, is that you on stage?
I think Hong is saying has some issues. Actually, is he joining? Home, there's a grab the mic functionality. If you have issue, you can also disable, maybe come back and try again. Are there anyone else? Kevin, Drew?
Home will give you a few minutes to fix the issue. I think before that, there are a few more ideas that the project lead will not have time to come and do the pitch, and Bing will represent them and talk through those ideas. Bing, are you here?
Yeah, I can. I was just gonna present our spreadsheet.
Okay.
I'll just present our spreadsheet that I think most of you have seen and have seen the ideas of. Let me present that one real quick. Cool. I'll start with the one before I'm even starting to present. I think for those of you who joined the panel discussion with Wendy, Wendy talked about one of her ideas. She actually added it idea here in the in our sign-up sheet. It's a AAPI charity navigator. You know, that's one of the things that she hoped that to see if someone have the time or energy, have the shared interest, can definitely reach out to Wendy and you know, and help her potentially work with her to build this solution, which is essentially something like build a better, well-branded charity navigator for just the AAPI nonprofit ecosystem. I do think that it's well needed. And then the next one here, number 8. I'm not sure if Summer.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, great.
Hey,
awesome.
I thought I was able to catch the end of this one, but yeah, this one is about where I am from and where I'm from. And the idea behind this is the question itself has become such incredibly politicized and quite frankly annoying question to be on the receiving end of, and how that has become such a common experience for people of color, especially with Asian Americans. The idea here is to create a multifaceted, interactive visualization of all Asian communities. And using myself as an example, this visualization would show that, you know, I am from West Covina. However, my family, we came from Taoyuan, Taiwan. And the diaspora story there is one with neo-imperialism about chasing the American dream. What most folks who aren't a part of Taiwanese are aware of is Taiwan has been riddled with Japanese and American imperialism and colonization over the years. And in the next couple of details out what the goal of the MVP would be, as well as what the dream that I hope to accomplish during this hackathon. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And since Hong is, we'll go back to this slide. Sorry, I'll represent the slide and let Hong talk about his idea.
Thank you. Sorry about the friction.
No worries.
Sure. Hey, everyone. So really giving us the opportunity to express ourselves. So our Homeland Watch group of engineers, we coming from LinkedIn and the Palo Alto network. So what this idea is, we are trying to build a platform just for engagement for physical protections. As recently, nowadays we keep hearing our elders in API communities or vulnerable individuals, they receive this physical over the street. Somebody get knocked out all the time from the New York. So this platform, we're trying to provide the way for engagement. So we want to engage two groups. One group is the vulnerable individuals. We say, for example, elders or pregnant ladies or whoever's thinking they are under reduced health problem. And the other group is the so I want volunteers to come to our platform. If you are living on the street, you are local to your street, we want your protection, we want you a volunteer. So we want to these two group of people. Maybe the volunteers from your street provide some lookout, some watch out. That's it. And based on our platform, build different mechanisms. We can build different actions. Maybe we want some cameras for the community. We want to for a patrol for our community. So those are actions, and those are on our platform. But those actions can really leveraging our platform for the better physical protection. So that's our idea. Feel free to ping me for UI UX designer, where we really lack the experience in. Thanks a lot, and feel free to ping me in Slack.
Great, thank you so much, Hong. Are there slides that we probably not? Let me go back to the spreadsheet and just really quickly again go through the ideas there. I think Live as an Asian Life is a short RPG game that people are planning on building to showcase what it's like to be an Asian or an immigrant or to be an Asian born in the States currently. And I think they've already gotten the team together, but still, if you're interested, feel free to reach out to Alan, who's the leader on this project. Going down, refute rumors, I think. Oh yeah, so Ifan wasn't able to join today due to personal schedules, so we'll just quickly go through their ideas right now. Refute rumors, hoping to establish a self-media, compare the news of mainstream media in China and the United States, and constantly at the same time help haters distinguish between government and individual. First of all, make sure not to vent the hatred of the government on innocent Asian individuals. Also, haters won't read information they don't like themselves, so we need to comment on popular news. The next idea is protest activities organizing. The problem is that there's no unified platform to organize activities such as speech or rally. Create an app or a web platform for people to discuss time, slogan, route, and all other information needed for related activities. I think we've seen similar ideas also in this list, which is, I think, a really great one. Going down, World Tanning Day. Choose 5/25 every year as the World Tanning Day. On this day, people use makeup technique, tanning product to change their skin color for one day and post their pictures in Instagram to make more people aware of different color. Doesn't make a difference to people's inner beauty. This is a great campaign idea. I hope someone or maybe Ifan will take it up. Next one is crime alert. Problem is that it's hard for non-English speakers to call 911 or get rescued immediately when attack happens. This is actually something that Vincent Pan, in our discussion, he actually also mentioned. A lot of elderly immigrants actually, have poor capabilities. So this the solution here is like Amber Alert. Maybe we can alert people nearby whenever there's a crime against Asian. Also, creating silent quick alarm for nearby people and police to see what they can help, if they can be helpful for people who need, who are not fluent in English. And I think that's it. That's all of the ideas that we have registrations for. Thank you all for coming up with such great ideas. And I guess maybe I will also present our last slide on the on our slides and just cool. Again, thank you all so much for joining us today. Such a great energy and so many smart people getting together. I'm sure we'll be able to get something done. And for the good of our society and for our AAPI community. I just wanted to show you all, this is our main map of our Gather Town hackerspace, and every single kind of box here represents kind of a meeting area. So as long as you walk onto that carpet, you will be able to discuss with people on that carpet, discuss those ideas and their teams, or kind of just like, you know, brainstorm together. And we also have put posters on every single carpet, so you know like what idea it is, at least from a title. And you have the link to this slide, so you can find kind of the project titles here too. And if you have any questions, on the top right here, there is a help desk. Our volunteers will be there. If you have questions on how to use Gather, we will be able to help you out immediately there. So that's all from my side. Chen, do you want to close it off?
Yes, everyone for attending our today's event. This is like 4 hours of time on a weekend, so we really appreciate that you're spending this precious weekend time with us. And hopefully all the patients give you some idea where you can start thinking projects or join teams. I hope to see every one of you at the gather.town. All right, with that, I think we can close the event. Thank you all. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, we have the June 6th demo day. I want to see all of your great work on the demo day. See you all. Bye.